Song Revolution with John Chisum on the NRT Podcast Network.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Song Revolution in 2024. Happy New Year to you. May this be your best songwriting year ever. You know, it's kind of a crazy thing. If you're like me, the new year just feels really special and fresh. Clean slate, tabula rasa, let's just start this thing over, right? Maybe this is the time that you traditionally go out and sign up for a new gym membership, or you go crazy doing some things that you regret about 2 weeks later. So don't do that, but tune into everything that we've got going on here at Nashville Christian Songwriters. We're moving into our 9th year, and I'm amazed at all that God has allowed us to do to encourage you, to download to you success and expertise and experience that can help you fulfill your calling to write great songs for Jesus. So today, I just wanted to kick off the new year talking about some of the things. I mean, if you follow us, you know about some of the programs, some of the offerings that we have. But I just wanted to walk through some of those again and add some more value to you as we talk about these programs and all that you can tap into in 2024. So if you're not familiar with us, be sure to check out NashvilleChristianSongwriters.com, and you can read all about the things we're going to talk about today. So I'm being joined by my right arm, my right hand, and my great friend, Bryant Ulrich. It's Brian with a T, so
That's
make
right.
sure you add that. Brian, how are you?
I'm great, man. Excited to be here.
Well,
awesome.
It's an exciting new year, new you.
Yep.
What are you going to do new this year for yourself?
Wow. You mentioned gym memberships. Maybe I need to get on that train. Or just invest in my songwriting.
Yeah.
Cancel my gym membership.
Well, you know, you and your wife just did, was it the Whole 30 thing?
We did. We did a 30-day kind of detox cleanse, and I ran a 25K, my first race. Yeah.
Wow. And
So-
your wife, Brooke, is a big-time runner.
She's a big-time runner. She actually ran the 50K. So she did what I did and then turned around and did it backwards.
Wow.
So I waved to her as she was
That's-
going back the other direction.
That's
But
insane.
Yeah,
And
yeah. It's
She
crazy.
did a 100-miler last year,
She
didn't
did a 100-miler.
amazing.
Ultra marathons are her thing. She loves it. So,
Wow. She
yeah.
weighs about 28 pounds.
Yeah.
And wow, that's crazy. But
Yeah.
you guys went through Whole 30 and
Yeah.
you feel better, you look great.
Thanks, man. Yeah, it's been great. We kind of got a head start to the new year when everybody tends to do that. So, yeah, it's been a great end to the year so far.
That's awesome. Well, you and I have been working together off and on for going into our 7th year, I
7
think.
years. I think we met January of 2017. Yeah.
'Cause you guys had just moved to town.
Just moved
You
to
were
town.
a musician, some production
Yep.
aspirations, and
Yep.
walk us through a little bit of that. How's it been in 7 years,
Yeah.
moving to Nashville cold?
Yeah, I mean, man, a roller coaster for sure. Kind of came here with no real connections, no real plans. I think there's that thing in the back of your mind that you're just going to meet someone at a coffee shop
Yeah.
and they're going to, which
And ta-da,
it happened,
it kinda happened,
which we
right?
literally did.
Yeah.
We've told the story 100 times, but sat next to each other at a coffee shop. I reached out, you called me a creeper. We continued the
Yeah.
conversation, got coffee a week
Yeah.
later, and started the podcast in April, I think, of 2017. And at the time, I was working on a lot of podcasts and editing and producing. And it's just been a crazy ride to watch you grow Nashville Christian Songwriters, get to know more about songwriting myself, which was really the reason that I wanted to come to Nashville. And before we moved, I was actually renting books from the library on the music industry, knowing
Yeah,
that if I
that's
came to Nashville, I wanted to know how this thing works,
Wow.
So I was reading a lot of things I didn't understand at the time, but have since come to understand a lot. You've helped me a ton. Just your experience and background in publishing and songwriting and all of that has been awesome to watch.
And
yeah.
you know, it really is true, if you don't know the story yet, that we literally sat shoulder to shoulder at this very crowded coffee shop
Yeah.
and never spoke.
Yeah,
Like for
never.
2.5 or
Working
3
on our
hours,
computers.
we were just kind of working head down. And I got a Facebook message from Bryant later that day
Yeah.
saying, "Hey, I'm the guy that sat next to you. Would you meet with me about songwriting?"
Yeah.
I think I was holding court or something, like making phone calls and
Yeah.
talking about
Yeah, you're a busy
Nashville
guy.
Christian Songwriters. And so We met the next day, became fast friends. I still have Bryant in my cell phone as the Well, that was a coffee shop, the Well Coffee Creeper.
Yeah.
That his contact still says that in the phone. But became great friends, started the podcast that you guys are watching today, and we're at 185 episodes, I think.
It's crazy.
That is crazy.
And a lot of episodes with my heroes, like songwriting heroes. It's been cool to watch.
Yeah. Well, it's been amazing. It's been a great thing for NCS because it just shows that we want to pour out, to people. We're not just, we have great programs or premium programs, but, I feel that God wants us to share and pour out as much great content as we can. And the podcast has become really the primary way. We have blogs and articles, but this podcast, it's been listened to all over the world. We have at least one listener in every country on the planet.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Wow.
We have software like our podcast platform you can actually go on and see, and we're in every country. But it might be one,
Yeah. One
but
person.
at least one, So we're heard on in every corner of the globe, which is pretty exciting, and hopefully that can grow. And so you guys share, right? Like, share, give us some great reviews, and help us share the love. But it's been phenomenal. We're I think the last time I checked, we were at about 180,000 streams, and to be able to share the kind of content and insights and principles that can help our listeners level up and seriously, become better songwriters just by listening to the show. That's been great, and it's really because God used you. We met the next day, and you're like, "Hey, I do podcasting, and maybe I can help you start a show." And that was like the last thing on my mind. And it's been great. So
it's been so cool.
Yeah.
Just the stories of people reaching out, of how a specific episode has helped them along the way. I think what I love about even just NCS as a whole is that you have always focused on the songwriting and the songwriter. So it's very, there's a lot of bold claims out there in the music industry to help you do X, Y, and Z, but it always comes back to the craft of songwriting.
Yeah, it
writing
really does.
better songs, becoming a better songwriter, staying creative, finding new inspiration, learning from other writers who have gone before you. I feel like that's really what drew me to NCS in the first place, and obviously the coffee, because I was at the coffee shop.
Coffee's good. Absolutely. The Well. There's some great coffee shops here in Nashville these days.
Oh yeah,
but
too many.
Now, we did an episode just recently about my 40 years. I'm into my 41st year as a professional musician, songwriter, and all that I've done. And so I don't want to rehearse all that again. I don't want to rehash that. I think it's a great episode because we walked through my whole life and why we do NCS. Because it's really been birthed out of the work of God in my life. And the first thing I wanted to do when I came to Christ was to write a song and share it. And never dreamed it would lead to now moving into the 5th decade of all that. I've had lots of facial surgeries in these years, but just
smile.
Botoxy smile. But to still even be here doing this and to be able to download the key insights, that really work for people. That's the heart of what we do.
Yeah.
It's not even really about legacy for me. I feel that my song catalog, I've had one song that's been in a couple of hymnals, and I'm not dead yet. So, I feel like this is more than legacy for me. This is, I don't know, it kind of goes deeper into really seriously equipping younger people such as yourself and beyond. We work with people of all ages, but to be able to download this is such a kingdom stewardship kind of thing for me. When I think about the one word that I believe embodies our calling, it's stewardship. And so it's not music biz, glitz and glamour. It really is about being a pastor and a teacher and feeling just the weight of what God wants to do in the earth. And there is a lot of stuff out there that you can throw all your money away on and not
Right.
get where God wants you to go. So,
Right.
and that's what I've loved about you, Bryant. And from the day we met, I saw quality in you, quality in your work, quality in your attitude, kingdom mindedness that I've always loved. And so it's fun. We kind of reconnected about a year and a half ago and have been working closer again, which has been great.
Yeah.
So why don't we talk a little bit about what we're up to, because we have a lot of new things going on this year.
Yep.
And talk a little bit about what we see God doing here at NCS.
Yeah. Yeah. I think we were talking before this even about a year ago, just looking at what we had as far as offerings and things for the business, coaching programs and different things. And now it's just exponentially more going on in so many areas. But yeah, I mean, there's so much potential, so many new things coming in 2024 that we're excited to talk about. Some we can talk about, some we can't.
Yeah,
right
well,
now.
under wraps,
But, yeah.
just yet.
But yeah, I think one thing we could start here, maybe the most excited about for me is the community aspect of NCS. And that's really what, when I moved to Nashville, I wanted to be around other songwriters. I want to be around other people who are doing what I'm doing and doing it better so that I can learn and become better myself. And so we're really going to invest into the community portion of what NCS offers. And obviously that's emails, great blog articles, podcasts like you mentioned, but even a layer deeper than that is the actual community of people coming together, sharing songs, sharing ideas, building each other up, and being able to do that in a shared space where,
That's awesome.
There's a lot of collaboration.
And we've done that before, actually.
Right.
We started with NCS membership, and some of you watching might remember have been a part of NCS membership. We were very, very small. We're kind of a micro company trying to build a community, and it kind of ran its course. We did a thing called Kingdom Songwriters Academy, trying to use some of all the resources, because we had so many workshops, so many webinars, so much podcasts and articles, and we really just weren't happy with how that was going, and so we retired both of those programs. But Brian and I both feel, talking to you guys directly for a minute, we want you to be in our community at whatever level you are as a songwriter, whatever, whether you're in a church as a worship pastor, worship leader, or a stay-at-home mom wanting to write songs, or whatever. At whatever level of development you're at, we want you in the community. Whether you ever sign up for the coaching programs, that's not even the point.
Right.
The point is to build this space that's safe, dedicated Christian songwriters all over the world where you can come and be part of that. So we're launching yet another community effort, because that's really what we're about.
Yeah, and we've had a Facebook group for a long time that has, I think, 6,000 something people in it. But as most things with Facebook over time, it just becomes convoluted and kind of a crazy place to really get anything done, and you don't know what people are seeing. And so we're actually going to take that same idea and bring it into our own environment outside of Facebook.
Space.
So that's exciting. We're going to start that probably right at the beginning of the year, and really invest in that portion, like you said, at any level, whether you're a beginner, you're just getting started writing songs, you need inspiration to continue writing songs, you've been doing it for a long time, that'll be a great place to just connect with other songwriters and learn more.
Yeah, so everybody can be watching for that. You can sign up for our email list if you're not on that. Just look for the link in the show notes. But yeah, sign up for that. We're going to be talking that up pretty quickly, and just begin to build that community aspect again. Because we have, I thrive on creating content. I mean, give me a half an hour for a blog, or sit down and do a quick video. I just love that. And I think that's just the teacher in me. And I want to share this. It's like I want to breadcrumb everybody, to great success in this thing. And so I kind of brim with content, and so we want to pour that out and build this community and see where God takes it. So.
I love it. And then there, from there, other levels to get involved, and we don't have to go into crazy detail on those, but from the coaching programs. There different tiers, right?
Right.
Again, an accelerator type of program where you can kind of get the songs going or get songs finished. I think a lot of people reach out and say, I've got a bunch of songs, but I can't finish them, right?
Exactly.
Or, I've got a lot of ideas, but I can't fashion them in a way that's a finished song or a completed song. So kind of an accelerator type of program to just give you that little boost to finish your songs and to get them over the line. And then up from there, if you want to talk about the Pro Song Mastery, it's kind of been our thing for a long time.
Yeah, it has been, and that's our 8-week online coaching experience called NCS Pro Song Mastery. We used to call it NCS Boot Camp. Yeah. And what we found out, I scared everybody away, right?
Too hard.
So it's like boot camp. Heck no, I don't want to. I don't want to be doing push-ups at 4 in the morning. So right. It was just a little too scary, a little too intense for people. So we kind of morphed it over into helping people master the principles of pro-level songwriting. Mm-hmm. And it's been exciting to watch. I mean, it really has been our main program for 8 full years.
Yeah.
And to watch, I think we've had over 300 people go through it. Mm-hmm. And we've had so many people who have created singles and gotten them on the radio in the U.S. and Canada and even other countries, New Zealand, Australia. We've worked with people in Europe.
Yeah, people getting up in the middle of the night to hop on a Zoom call at 2 a.m.
Manila, Philippines. It's crazy. Just been insane. But watched a lot of relationships, form out of that. But it's 8 weeks online where we meet one night a week. And you're going through a video curriculum that I created and really getting the backdrop. Because a lot of times, Brian, what I find, and I've spoken to over probably 3,000 people personally on the phone about our programs, enrollment calls and talking about, how does this work? Mm-hmm. And one of the things that's been very consistent is that people want to know if they're good enough.
Right.
They'll say, would you just please listen to my song and tell me if I'm good enough?
It's that validation piece.
Yeah. And it's like, I'd love to do that, but I think that's the wrong question. Because if you're a beginning songwriter, if you're trying to compare yourself with what you're hearing on CCM radio, well, you're probably not good enough in that sense, right?
Sure.
But you just haven't had the experience or the training or the practice or the opportunity to be around pro-level songwriting. So the question, I kind of flip the script a little bit and say that, the real question for me, it isn't are you good enough, it's are you called enough? Do you feel so driven toward fulfilling this that you will invest in yourself, time and finances, because it takes it, to really ramp up, level up to a pro level, it takes an investment.
Right.
And I think sometimes people are afraid of that because they're afraid that they're not good enough. And I'm working with an artist right now, actually, she's done everything we've offered, even up to our highest program. And, when she began 4 years ago, she would have been one of the last people that I would have thought that would have gone this far with her career, and we'll talk about her a moment in another program, but she was not good enough in the beginning. Yeah. But she's sewn into her career, she's sewn into her knowledge and into her skills to the point where, guess what, she's good enough now.
Yeah, she works
and beyond
hard.
Good enough, right?
Yep.
So the Pro Song Mastery Program is an 8-week online personal coaching. It's a group of about 6 songwriters where we meet one night a week, and you're going through a curriculum, uploading songs every week, and we work with you just as Nashville publishers. So if you want to meet the right people in Nashville, get into that program.
Yeah, and I love the way, you coach people in the songwriting space. Like I love because you will say what needs to be said, like if this song is bad.
I never use the word bad.
Never use you don't use the word,
song, right?
But you're giving people or helping people with the awareness, right, of knowing when something works and when it doesn't. And you do it in such a kind way, but a direct way, and help people grow. And that's really, I think, rather than having a bunch of people come in and patting them on the head and saying, this is great, you're giving actual critiques and feedback that are helpful and constructive. And that's really what I know for me coming to Nashville, that's what I wanted. I wanted someone to validate that question of, are these good songs? I've been writing these songs, but if I just listen to them or I show my mom and she says, yeah, these are great songs, then
Mama loves you.
she's always going to say that.
Of course she does.
So, I think that's what's been really cool, is to watch people grow through those 8 weeks to the point of coming out of that program and being a confident songwriter and saying, I am good enough. I have great ideas. I know how to get feedback and put myself out there, right? Because that's 80% of it, is getting to the point where you can share your song and go, here it is, tear it apart. And
it can be scary.
Yeah.
And we are surrounded with cultural bias because Mama does love the songs.
Right.
She does. And that's great, and that's as it should be, but the world out there that hears your song, they're not your mama. They're not as kind-hearted.
Right.
Even the Christian people aren't as kind-hearted, with your precious baby song. They're just not going to be as kind. And so what we do, and the way I do approach it, and all of our coaches approach it, is with a very, of course, kindness. I just think that's so important, but validating what's right. It's like, okay, you've got a great idea here, but you've just not followed through in the way that you've treated that idea. Or maybe there's some portions of the song that are really, really good, but you've never really nailed the title or your hook. And so let's focus on that. Let's see how we can make it all stronger so it's very cohesive and has the effect that you really want it to. But it's all in a spirit of validating what God's doing in the writer or the artist that we're working with. Looking for that, what's God really trying to do in you? And why are you here? What's the why behind this? Has it been a tremendous loss, a divorce, or the loss of a loved one or a child? Like Becky Nordquist. Becky's kind of been our poster child. So you guys go back and look, just type in Becky Nordquist in our search on the site, and you'll find some tremendous content from Becky. A lot of loss, 5 miscarriages and a stillbirth, and trying to figure out how to process that and share that in a way that was meaningful. And we were able to really help her dial that in to the point of birthing a whole ministry. No pun intended with birthing there, but just bad choice of words there. But just an incredible story, with Becky, and validating what was working instead of tearing it down.
Right. No, I love that. To go even a step beyond the pro song mastery, we also offer one-on-one coaching. And one thing I'm really excited about in 2024 is developing the coaching team. So we've talked about, we've got some veteran songwriters of different styles and genres and even backgrounds that are going to come in and be a part of that coaching team. So we're not going to say who they are yet, but that's coming. But yeah, we've been cultivating that over the last few months, or really the last year, and bringing people in to help guest coach and guest feature on different things that we're doing. So I'm excited about that, to really build the team out, because you have a long history, a lot of songwriting credits, a lot of things, but you can only do so much, right? So we have a ton of people.
You need to sleep every now and then.
You need to sleep every now and then. So really expanding those groups and having more options and even more, different feedback from different types of people is important as well. So I'm excited about that. And then that kind of leads into our one-on-one coaching, which is another offering that we do.
One-on-one, I've done it off and on through these 8 years. If someone really didn't want to do a group for some reason, I think the groups are the best way to go. But we do have the next tier up. If you have an aversion to groups for some reason, or your schedule, if we need to do something that fits into your work schedule for some reason, we will do that. But we are adding coaches. I've primarily been the one-on-one guy, and we'll continue to do that. But as you're saying, we have some amazing people. Yourself and Dara McLean is one of our coaches who does a tremendous job, if you know Dara's work. Other people that we want to bring in that can do one-on-ones. And sometimes even in the one-on-one, I'll do a part of it and then bring someone else in. And that's still primarily songwriting. That's still focusing on you as a songwriter, and going through the curriculum that we offer But we're just, the coaching, the weekly coaching is done one-on-one instead of the group.
Right. So.
So,
It's been so interesting to see how, which saying it this way makes a lot of sense, but having all of these songwriters come through our programs, right, go from some never writing a song before to finishing a ton of songs and getting them out there and starting ministries,
yeah,
which has really led to more of filling a need than offering another product.
exactly.
Which is our artist development track, which is brand new, like the last
April last year is when we launched it.
Yep, we launched it with our friend Kevin McNeese, who's new release today. He does a lot of Christian music marketing and media, and really getting that out to the world is a big part of 2024 as well, which is really just it's a 12-week program walking people through everything they need to know to become a Christian artist,
Exactly.
a Christian music artist in 2024, right? Because it looks different today than it looked even a year or 5 years ago.
It's especially 5 years ago. The old model, the old paradigm of you being a talented person and the record, you send a demo to a record label and they discover you and come put $1 million into your career.
Yeah.
That's gone. That's the old paradigm.
Yep.
The record labels are looking for people who are out there doing this thing on social media, releasing music, gaining followers, and they have whole metrics that they go by before they'll even talk with you.
Right.
And so the place we have felt compelled to fill is teaching up-and-coming artists, Christian artists, how to build the platform. And not even so much that the record labels will ever discover you. It's like if you build this thing out, you don't need the record label. And that's the reality. Sorry, record labels, we love you, but that's the reality in today's digital world.
Yeah.
So this, I think you really hit it a minute ago when you said instead of just coming up with a program we wanted to offer and sell, we've had a demand put on us to do this. And before we ever announced this program, I'd already worked privately with 5 different artists, and walking them all the way through creating the songs, sometimes co-writing with them, not always, but some, taking them into the studio, and then showing them how to launch their digital platform. And I was working with my business coach, shout out to Chris Weinberg, and he just was busting on me one day, and he said, you have to tell people you're doing this.
Right.
And so we created a landing page talking about it, launched it in April, and it has been an amazing year. We've worked with tremendous people this year. A bluegrass artist, new bluegrass artist named Nikki Lou Savage. So shout out to Nikki Lou. Her record's coming out right about now. And we've helped her create her entire platform this last year. We worked with some of the finest bluegrass musicians in Nashville. It's a great new record. So Nikki, we've worked with a young group of worship interns called the Ezra Worship Initiative, and really very, very excited about that group, and been a consultant to them, helping them to launch their whole program, get a great new EP recorded with 6 songs, and that's been an exciting program that can't wait to share with you guys. We've worked with a new CCM artist. Who else have we worked with? I'm like totally going blank, but we've been very, very busy in the artist development program, and like you said, it's a 90-day program where you're walking through the Christian Artist Pro curriculum, and you will be equipped with everything you need to launch your Christian artist career, both from the artist development side and the branding and marketing side. I call it your record label in a box.
Right.
So,
it's really a massive tool for the independent musician, the independent artist, which, like you said, now that's kind of the path, right? A record label can come alongside and help support, but they want to see that you're already doing the thing.
Exactly.
And I think what's so special too about what we're doing is the connections that can be made to really any aspect of the industry, right? So if you're going to be touring, we know people who do that full time and can resource that way. Management, radio, promotion, dog sitting.
Dog sitting, dog grooming is part of that.
Grooming. So yeah, it's really exciting to be able to be kind of that hub, for people that are wanting to get started and excel in a career.
Well, it's really been amazing to see where we've come, even in just a year. But I feel that the foundations that we've been putting in place over the last 8 years are really coming to fruition in a crazy big way.
Yeah.
With all of our free content, this podcast, blogs, articles, everything that you can find at NashvilleChristianSongwriters.com. Just a wealth of information and inspiration there. Yep. Into our new community that we're going to be talking about here very soon. That should already be on our website or coming up soon. Our new accelerator program, the Pro Song Mastery one-on-one artist development. But we also have production services now, publishing services, and can I talk about our collective? We haven't even talked about the collective yet.
Let's do it.
All right, so the kind of the crowning denouement of everything that we're talking about is launching our new boutique record label called the NCS Collective. There, I said it, it's out in the world.
Right.
We're doing this thing because so much music is bubbling up from our community that we feel that we really would be dishonoring God and a disservice to our community if we didn't find a way to market and promote people like Nikki, Lou Savage, and other people that we believe in, that we really want to bring to the world.
Yeah.
So it's really exciting. So I said it, NCS Collective is launching here over the next few months. So be watching for that. And the exciting thing, Bryant, is that even with Nikki, you can see that she started at the beginning with just becoming aware of us and has walked through everything we've offered and is now an independent artist.
Right.
So it's like we're helping people make the music that we tell them that we can help them make.
Yep. I love on the artist development page it says building a career as an artist is not a straight line.
It's certainly not.
It's literally a zigzag, the craziest zigzag. But I think what we want to do is bring some sort of roadmap or direction to that process to make it easier, make it more turnkey than just kind of failing your way forward, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And really at any stage in the process, whether you're like Nikki, who had never really written a song or didn't know about it,
correct,
and now she's releasing her own project and launching her career, or you find yourself in the middle of that process where you're struggling to finish songs or get songs produced or co-write with other people, whatever that may be. I feel like there are entry points in NCS for anyone who wants to be successful in the music business. So
absolutely.
Yeah.
And it's the new music business.
Right.
It really is a whole new day where it's much more democratic.
Yeah.
And you don't have to have a label that believes in you. If you believe in yourself, if you believe God's called you to this, then you can fulfill this calling. And I think that's what we're all about.
I love it.
Well, Bryant, this has been really great.
Yeah.
And I do want to talk directly to our listeners, our viewers today. And I really want to encourage you to not just get excited because it's January, but think about the trajectory of your whole life. You can sit here and not take any action and be right where you are next year at this time. Or you can take even the simplest, smallest step toward fulfilling your calling. And if that's going back and listening to the 185 podcast episodes because that's what your budget allows, that's great. But if it's taking a bold step and looking at the link in the show notes and setting up a call with us to just explore which program that we offer might be right for you, just do that. Take whatever step that you have the faith in your heart to take and just watch as God blesses it. Let's make 2024 our best year for glorifying God with the gifts that He's put in our lives. All right, Bryant, thanks so much for being here.
Yeah.
I'm so excited to have you on the team, and let's go do it, man.
Let's do it, man. 2024.
Hey, thanks for joining us on the show today. I hope that you'll jump over to NashvilleChristianSongwriters.com and check out all the resources there to encourage you in your own songwriting. And if you like what we're doing, why not share this episode out on your socials? You can find the link in the show notes. We'll see you next time.